Hi, I'm Allegra Houston.
And I'm James Nave, and welcome to this week's Imaginative Storm prompt.
Prompt of the week. We do this every Saturday, and they will all be posted here on YouTube on the Imaginative Storm channel. You'll also find previous week's prompts here and on our site on Circle, which is imaginativestorm.circle.so. And you can also find that by going to imaginativestorm.com. You'll be able to read those prompts simply, kind of written down. And you'll be able to read what other people have written to the prompts and posted there. And we encourage you, if you are amused and intrigued by what you wrote, to post it there for other people to read and appreciate.
So today we're going to be working with some poetry as a prompt. And here's how it's going to work. Allegra is going to read a poem, and I'm going to read a poem. And right now, what we'd like for you to do, if you haven't done it already, get yourself a piece of paper and a pen and get ready to jot down words that pop for you when you listen to us read the poem. Don't worry so much about the meaning or the content of the poem, although enjoy the words washing over you. But if you hear a word that strikes you, jot it down.
And when you do that, you could jot them down in a list, but you could also jot them randomly in different places around the paper. So I would encourage you to do that. Jumble the words up as you write them down, because our goal here isn't to try and recreate the poem or the feeling of the poem or even understand anything about what the poem is saying. It's just simply a way of generating a more or less random list of words on your paper, which you will then work with in our 10-minute writing prompt. So I'm going to start by reading a poem by John Donne, who is my favorite poet, written in the late 16th century, and it's called The Good Morrow. The Good Morrow by John Donne. I wonder, by my troth, what thou and I did till we loved. Were we not weaned till then, but sucked on country pleasures childishly? Or snorted we in the seven sleepers' den? 'Twas so, but this all pleasures fancies be. If ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, 'twas but a dream of thee. And now good morrow to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear. For love, all love of other sights controls, and makes one little room and everywhere. Let sea discoverers to new worlds have gone. Let maps to other worlds on worlds have shown. Let us possess one world, each hath one and is one. My face in thine eye, thine in mine appears, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest. Where can we find two better hemispheres, without sharp north, without declining west? Whatever dies was not mixed equally. If our two loves be one, or thou and I love so alike that none do slacken, none can die.
Who wrote that again, Allegra?
John Donne.
And so now let's move to the 20th century, and we have a poem by Robert Frost titled Acquainted with the Night. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city lights. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I've passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I've stood still and stopped the sound of feet when far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night.
So you have a list of words that popped out at you on your piece of paper. And we will set a timer for 10 minutes. And what we would like you to do is just close your eyes now, open them, let them rest on some random word, and that's going to be your starting place. And you can completely depart from the list of words if you like, or you can grab other words as you write for 10 minutes and just see what your imagination gives you.
And as you develop this, and if you do depart from the words and you find yourself slowing down or would like to have another bump, just look back to the list and add one of the images from the list into the text that you're generating and see where that leads you.
It's important to say that the goal of these 10-minute writing prompts isn't to create a finished piece of work. I mean, that's absurd thought. You've only written it in 10 minutes. The goal of this is simply to find something that pops. All you're looking for is a couple of words that are fresh and energetic. So don't feel that you have to, create something that makes sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to hang together. It doesn't have to do anything. Except just see where your imagination takes you when it starts playing with these words that you've put on your list.
And so now I'll ring the scene bow and you can begin. And when your 10 minutes is up, I will ring the bow again.
We hope you found something in there that inspires you. We find that many people do this prompt and think, oh, I failed. I didn't get anything. I didn't use enough words, or I used too many of the words. I didn't do anything else. And then when they read it over, they're like, actually, that's kind of interesting. I rather like that phrase or that image. So I really encourage you to read what you wrote aloud, and see, because there may be things in there that popped that you didn't quite realize as you were writing them. And if you like what you wrote, please do go to imaginativestorm.circle.so, or imaginativestorm.com will also lead you to the same place, and post your writing under prompt of the week, attached as a comment to this prompt.
And if you feel moved after you've read it aloud, you might even consider recording it and listening to it back again. That's another technique a lot of writers use to get a feel for how the work sounds. And if this is the first time you've ever recorded your voice, you likely will have to make an acquaintance with your voice. But after you do a few recordings, you'll find it to be rather pleasant, I assure you.
And one final thing to say is that if you enjoy our readings of poems, you will find a number on our Imaginative Storm YouTube channel where you are right now watching this. There's another John Donne poem on there already, The Sun Rising, and there will be some more John Donne poems quite soon, as well as poems by other writers as well.
So thank you ever so much for joining us, and happy writing.
Goodbye.
Thank you.